Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is another exciting episode of the PTSD show. We're down two, so it's only two of us. It's me and Dre.
Yes,
So
sir.
Sean somewhat saving the world, and Tony waiting on his link card to come through the mail. But how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody having a good day. It's pretty nice outside actually, so
Yeah,
take advantage of it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't.
might
But
as well.
we got a good question, a good topic today. Somebody was talking to me about this topic, and they wanted to know what's the difference between intimacy and sex. So what's the difference between intimacy and sex? So we gonna start off with start off with nobody,
All
just me and you.
right.
So we gonna hear what Dre got to say about it first. So remember the topic was the difference between intimacy and sex. We're gonna try to break it down and see if there's a difference or is it pretty much the same thing, but people are just wording it different. So
Mm.
Dre, take the mic, man.
I think there is a difference between intimacy and sex
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like sex is more of an action and intimacy is more of it encompasses so many other things before sex happens. If you get what I'm saying. So if I was to look at it like on a biological standpoint, meaning like as men, we're more driven by dopamine, which is why we can have sex and not really look too much further past it. Sex to us is just like taking a piss in a way. But as far as like intimacy, I feel like women are more in tune with intimacy more than men are because that's why you get a lot of women that sit there and say they want a man that's romantic and stuff like that, and he do certain things, and that's why a lot of men don't really know how to tap into that intimacy side of them because we're not really that romantic in a way. But at the same time, we want sex. But when I look at intimacy, I feel like it's more driven towards women because if you think about it, women are more serotonin driven and men are more dopamine driven. So when men have sex, we release dopamine higher than women do. So that's why we constantly want sex more often than not. Women are more serotonin driven, meaning they're more how can I put it? They're more in tune with their emotions in a way. So when a woman is more serotonin driven, she doesn't want just sex. She wants so many different things that leads up to sex as far as like foreplay, which matters to them, and also a connection in a way. So I believe intimacy plays a big part in that area. So that's why as men we'll sit there and have sex and may not look at the intimate side of it because women really take the intimacy side very serious in a way. So I think that's like the difference kind of goes in a way. So yeah, I do believe that's the difference between the two. So that's my thoughts on that though.
Okay, well, yeah, I pretty much agree. I pretty much agree with you about the sex and intimacy. There's a difference, but then again, it all follows to the same thing.
Yeah.
Women like to be intimate, which is nothing wrong with. It's nothing wrong with a woman being intimate. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want y'all to think that like, oh, Pico said you don't be. No, I'm
Right.
not saying that. There's nothing wrong with being intimate. There's nothing wrong with a man being intimate,
Right.
but it's really not pretty much programmed in a man to be intimate like that. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? We can do it. Oh, sorry about that. Leg was itching. We can do it. You got men that pamper they ladies, the rose petals and stuff like that. That's all part of an intimate act.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that none whatsoever. But I pretty much think that sex, although it's two different things, I pretty much say it's still in the same boat because intimacy leads into sex.
Right.
So people say, love making is different than the F word. It's still the same. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Sex is sex.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as I slept with her. I screwed her, but I make love to you.
Right.
It's no difference, man. I'm just gonna be honest. There's no difference. There's not.
uh,
We can't, as men, we can't say that. In other words, we can screw off that penis, screw on another penis. Then that's a different story. But
right.
it's all the same thing. Sex is sex.
Mm.
We can't put another word in front of it. Sex is sex. Having sex with a woman or having sex with many women is still sex. Now,
Mm.
true, you can have your heart out of certain women. You can love your girl and have sex with somebody else. Yeah, that part is true, but it's all the same thing. So sex is sex, but intimacy is way. I would say I'm not gonna say deep. Yeah, you know what? It's deeper
Yeah.
than sex because more feelings are involved in it.
Mm.
The touching and feeling that leads to all of it leads to sex, but just like you said earlier, with men and women are two different things.
Right.
You know, we're two different creatures. One just okay, but fine, we could be intimate, but we gonna do it.
Right.
But woman can be like, we could be intimate, and we can do it later. If you enter with a guy, they gonna pretty much want to do it on the spot. Okay,
Exactly.
that part is over. Let's go. Drop the drawers, man. But yeah, there's a difference, and it's kind of it's on the fence. No, it's on the fence because a lot of people think it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same. In a nutshell, it's not because you can go at it two different ways. You know, you can go over a girl house or you can come over your house, and sometimes you ain't even got to be intimate. Just, hey, let's do this. Intimacy builds up to having sex with that person. So, what do you got to say about it, Dre? Because you look puzzled over there.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, do you think women crave intimacy more over sex in a way? Because, like, when you think about it, a woman, like, they can have sex, but the sex don't mean anything to them unless there's an intimate part that has to play in it. If you get what I'm saying. So some women, it seems like they crave intimacy more over sex, or it's like a bigger component than just sex. So if they just have sex, it's not really worth anything to them unless it's that intimate component in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on that though?
My thoughts on that, I agree with you. Yeah, women are more intimate about sex. Mm-hmm. Not all, some of them, but some men, some women are worse than men. But women are more intimate about it because they want the touchy, they want the feely, they want the back massage, and they want the rose petals on the bed and the bath water and rub their feet. Yeah, I would definitely say women are more intimate in that field, but some men will pretty much go for it, but a lot of men won't. A lot of men just don't even freaking care. And that's just pretty much how it is, man. So,
but do you think that they weigh that higher than just sex? If you get what I'm saying.
Oh, women?
Yeah.
I think so.
You think so?
That's what I think so too. Yeah.
I do.
I think so. Because in their eyes, I'm not saying it's wrong, but in their eyes, it's like a brownie point.
Yeah.
Because when women tell their friends about the person they had sex with, they will say, well, the sex was good, but they will say, girl, he did this.
Right.
No. The guys I dealt with, they never did this for me.
Right.
They never rubbed my feet or put, like I said, the rose petals on the bed or took me, I did this and made it intimate. So it's a big part for them. But men, we pretty much don't.
Yeah.
We don't care. We can go to freaking IHOP. Now, you take me to IHOP and give me some pancakes, I'm fine with that. Which ain't a bad idea. Some pancakes. But yeah, it's pretty much, being intimate is pretty much a woman's thing, which isn't bad. Can't stop stressing it because the wrong person to see this.
Oh yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, people we're just cut different. That's all. It's intimacy can be in a man's world, but not as much as it should be in a woman's world. Because if a man is too intimate with himself, because you hear a lot of women say that. I want a man to show his emotions. That's fine, but he's not supposed to show his emotions like a woman's supposed to show her emotions. Then it's like going with yourself. Hey, well, I don't want this. You soft, bro.
True.
Just like I had the example before. I forgot who I was telling this to. If I came home from work, see, you may be used. Oh, man, we might be used to women coming home crying to us about the job. It's stressing me out. Okay, fine. But if I came home and she like, what's wrong? I just started crying. Like, they just working me too hard. I'm like, hold on, bro.
Like
right, that's my job, man. So, yeah, man, we're not supposed to be that strong of our emotional role. We don't wear it on our chest.
Right.
Because you hear a lot of women say, I want an emotional man. But do you really want an emotional man?
They really don't, to be honest.
They don't.
They say that because they're entitled with their emotions, and which it kind of goes back to the whole serotonin thing I was talking about. And by women releasing so much serotonin, they look for something past just the action of doing something. They want the meaning behind the action in a way. If you get what I'm saying. So with a woman, when they want sex with somebody, they want that connection. So that's why when you get women that's promiscuous in a way, they kind of detach themselves from that emotional side because they don't have so many partners. So their bodies is not releasing that much serotonin like it should be. Because that serotonin is very important for a woman to sit there and build a connection with a man. So if she's just going around sleeping with somebody, she can't build that connection with you. That's why so many men, for the most part, don't really want a promiscuous woman for a long-term relationship in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the thing with when women have to understand. So like if a woman wants to pair bond with a man and she wants a long-term relationship and she wants to be married, it's very important to keep your sexual number very low, because when you do that, you won't be able to emotionally connect with that man in a way. If you know what I'm saying. So I believe women's emotions and intimacy all play together as to why women act the way that they do when they want certain things from a man, or say or claim that they want this man to be emotional and stuff like that. So when women say that, men have to also understand that she's coming from a woman's perspective and coming from her emotions. That's not always correlated with logically how she may biologically want her man to be. She wants her man to be alpha, be strong, be protective and stuff like that. So those two things, and plus being very emotional, don't correlate well as being a man. You got to understand you're put under a different umbrella compared to how women may view other women and stuff like that. But when it comes to you, you're put under something different. You have different criteria that you have to follow when it comes to women. And we see it every day on social media, the things that women say and the things that they do nowadays. So it's just like you have to remember that when it comes to certain things like this when women talk. So it sounds good when they speak and they say those certain things, but at the same time, you got to take it with a big grain of salt, because sometimes it's not what they try to make it out to be. And you can try and do those things, but at the same time, it'll come back and bite you in the ass because you sat there and listened to what a woman said. And it's messed up because women do have a voice, don't get me wrong. It's messed up to think of it that way, but at the same time, it falls on the weight falls back on us because how can I put it? It falls back on us because we have high expectations put on us from women. If you get what I'm saying, so you just have to look at it in that sense. So, yeah.
Good point. Real good point. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That make a whole lot of sense actually. So, the thought of just a guy being like so intimate like that, that's just wrong, man. I'm just gonna be honest, it's just wrong. So
yeah.
So it's like it's like a I'm not gonna say an oxymoron. It's like a pointless point of view.
Yeah.
It's a pointless point of view because most women say things about, I want a man to be intimate and I want him to do this and I want him to do that. That's somewhat taking him out his category of being a man.
Yeah.
Now, because men, there's certain rules and regulations to everything. Now, if a woman was to come along and she like pick you up and just throw you on the bed and just rip all your clothes, like, hold on, bro, that's a bit much, man. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but
pick you up,
that's
put you on the counter.
Right, put you up on the counter. You like, hold on. They had jokes about that on TikTok and stuff. And guys like, they don't even feel right. I mean, but we can't live out we can't live out of our character. But yeah, we both come to an agreement that intimacy and sex is two different things. But it all boils down to sex, because it's always going to boil down to sex.
Mm-hmm.
You can be intimate or not, you're going to boil down to sex. And you made a whole bunch of good points, man. Wow, it's just pretty much nothing I can say about that. But
I do feel like it. If a man does tap into more of his intimate side, it'll put him outside of his role of being a masculine man in a way.
Exactly.
Or it'll put his energy of being masculine a little lower, if you know what I'm saying. He'll still be a man, but at the same time, he doesn't have his masculine qualities that makes him what he is will be more toned down in a way.
Right.
And then he doesn't know how to bring it back to where it was, if you know what I'm saying. So men, we don't know how to fluctuate our energy from being masculine to being intimate at the same time. It's kind of like, I think somebody used the analogy of a woman wants a man to be able to kill a lion and then hold a baby at the same time. If you know what I'm saying.
Wow, that's a good one. I ain't never heard that.
Yeah, I've heard that before. And it's true. So it's like it's an on and off switch that women want men to be or expect men to be, but men don't know how to be that all the time. If you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, we can't it's not something we can just easily turn on and off. Now, we can do better as far as being able to manage it or how we do it. But at the same time, it's not just a switch I could just switch on and switch off. You know what I'm saying? So women have to understand that when men say we have to be masculine, we have to stay in tune with our energy. And that just encompasses being a certain type of way. It's not to say that we're toxic. Or, I mean, we get it that some men overdo it. We understand that. But at the same time, it's not to say that just because we're that way, we're trying to misuse our ability of being a man and being assertive of what we want and doing the things that we're supposed to do as a man. You just gotta understand, we just have to we hold what we have to be to a certain standard to ourselves, and also we're just not comfortable all the time with being in that feminine state. If you get what I'm saying, so it's just that's just too hard to do at the same time. So yeah, it's not an on and off switch, ladies. That's just you gotta accept that. Honestly,
Should a man actually be in the feminine state? You know.
no, I believe there's certain things about feminine qualities as far as that a man can take home to, as
Mm-hmm.
far as like how can I put it, knowing when cause see that's the thing, cause we talk about emotions a lot, right? And it's not inherently a bad thing for a man to have emotions and stuff like that, but it just comes to a point where you allow your emotions to take over your decision making, if you get what I'm saying,
Right. I get you.
or stuff like that. So at the same time, it's just like they say, when a man cries, he cries all the way. He doesn't cry halfway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we just don't know how to be in tune with our emotions at the same time. So I feel like it does to a degree. We have to learn how to manage our emotions, but at the same time, being feminine is not something a man should necessarily do. There's some qualities that you could take home to and just say, okay, I could work on this and maybe tone down my masculine energy just a little bit, but not to the point where I'm demasculating myself or emasculating myself, if you know what I'm saying. So I think that's very important to understand when you're a man, that we just looked at differently when it comes to women and what they say. And it can all be a fairy tale. It can all sound good when they say all these nice things about what man should be or what man can do to be better as far as like being emotional and stuff like that. It sounds good, but honestly, it's not the best route to go to. That's just my opinion on that, though. I mean, some women may not be happy with that or be satisfied with that, but you have to understand what you play a role in that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for a man to be more emotional or intimate in a way, it's okay to express that emotional, express, how you feel about that, but also understand, because men also be open to how can I put it, be open to change and being able to change some of that, or be I ain't gonna say be everything your woman wants you to be, but you still want to please your woman at the same time. You still want to feel like she's being heard at the same time, but you don't want to give all of yourself to her. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that.
Interesting. So the thing is, um, a guy that give his all his whole thing to his wife or girlfriend. That's a good question, man. I think. I mean, if you want to give all, that's the way you go about doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just can't lay it on the line right there, like, well, this, that, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and the other. I believe in tell people the truth. I believe in telling people only what they need to know.
I agree with that.
No, don't just go wasting your whole life telling her, bringing up stuff that happened eons ago before her or doing her. I think that's wrong, because sometimes you can say things that actually chase people away.
That's true. Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, he did this, he did that. Well, you could have judged. You didn't have to say nothing, but you said it anyway. So now she's thinking like, can I trust this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference between men being emotional, because emotions, intimacy it's all pretty much in the same boat. Yeah. It's not the same word, but it's pretty much in the same boat. And me personally, I just said this earlier, but I just think a man shouldn't show his emotions to a woman like a woman show emotions to a man.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't think, because it's a bad mixture.
Yeah.
It's a bad mixture, because you don't know how that person's going to take it. You know, like, oh wow, I thought he was this and he that, but he complained about stuff more than I do. And you know what? In the world, they call those guys the B world. You're a B, man. Yeah. So it is what it is. But back to the emotional. I mean, the intimacy and sex. People, some people play on that.
Okay.
You know, because that goes with the give her what she want, give him what he want, and then when you play on it. And when something breaks up, I didn't like you. I didn't like you like that anyway. True. But why would you say you like somebody like that? Don't like somebody like that, but want to be intimate with that person? It should be just a booty call.
Yeah.
You know, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You ain't got to give me nothing. You don't owe me nothing. No, it's gone. But sometimes people play on that. You know, he whined me and damned me, but then again, he still don't get what he wanted.
Mm.
That's being intimate. You know, you taking somebody out to a romantic dinner, that's an intimate moment.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about like Al, but like that.
Right.
You know, y'all candleless and the guys in the back right there next to you playing the violin and
Right.
stuff. That's romance.
Yeah.
But a lot of people play on stuff like that, and I don't know. It can go. We can sit up and talk about this all day, man. But there is a difference. So we both came to an agreement that there is a difference. But the people that's out here, the people that's watching, I want to hear y'all take on it. So throw them comments down. Miss Brown, Miss Parker. That's all we got so far.
Okay.
So I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Yeah. Any questions on that?
Yeah. Any questions on it? Maybe y'all can give us a little bit because y'all women. You guys are women.
What are some things y'all notice from y'all perspective that, you know, what's some of the things y'all normally say to a man and what's his feedback on it as far as like what he may say? So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, let's see what y'all got to say.
Yeah. Did they post anything at all?
No, ain't nobody say nothing yet.
Yeah. You probably agree on it.
Yeah, quite sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, intimacy plays, well, does it play an important part in the relationship?
In the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
I say it do because it's supposed to build that connection between the two. I would say because if we as men don't value intimacy as much as women, we'll just be constantly just having sex with our girl and not really have that connection with just having sex with her, because we can do it with any random chick. True. So it wouldn't be no different from if I was in a relationship or not. But as far as like intimacy playing an important part in relationships, I could see that. I could see that it do. And it does play on our part to be more open to it, because a lot of men are not open to it, but I do believe there's a degree of how you do it, though. And that's the part that kind of confuses us as men, because we don't know what's the right degree to be to be intimate with our partner as far as that. So it's like I said, it's not like an easy switch for us, if you know what I'm saying. So I mean, it's always good to take open feedback from your woman as far as like what you can do to be a little more intimate, but also express how you feel about it as far as like, okay, I don't mind doing it, but it's a certain level I won't go past as far as, you know, as far as like crying to you and stuff like that, or
there's a limit.
Yeah. And that's mainly what they really move towards as far as like a man crying to him. That's the main thing I hear from women. They don't talk so much about him being intimate in the bedroom. It's more of like he's not sharing his emotions or his feelings with me. I feel like that's the thing that it's a little vindictive to me, because it's like, y'all, because I think we had an episode one time where we talked about this. I think Keita was here. Yeah, that whole little argument.
Not Keita.
Yeah. And I forgot what she said, but in the mix of it, it was kind of weird, because my cousin Tony, he brought up a good point where he said a man should be able to express how he feel without crying to you. It's been times where men will sit there and tell you how he feel about something, but you need him to cry in order for him to, in order to take what he's saying serious, which is kind of vindictive, because it's like, if he's telling you that he feels some type of way about something without being overly emotional about it, he's already telling you that. But the fact that he's not crying about it to you make it seem like, okay, what he's saying doesn't matter unless he's tearing up about it. So I'm just like, that doesn't make sense to me. A man should be able to express how he feel in a calm, cool manner and say, hey, I'm not, like, something you did kind of bother me. I want to talk to you about it. I ain't rocking with it. That's the time to listen. Well, it shouldn't take a man to have to be overly emotional to express how he feel. And a lot of times when that happens, I feel like that has happened only because the man has already told you about 4 or 5 times and you turned around and still kept doing it. So when he does get to that point, it's because of the fact that he done already told you, and you wasn't even thinking to listen to what he had to say about it. You just went off and did your own thing. So when men do get overly emotional, that's mainly because he done sat there and told you so many times, and you done turned around and just did whatever the hell you wanted to do and just said forget how he feel, just because you want him to feel some type of way. So to me, that's very vindictive. So yeah,
that's true. Tamisa said, sorry about that. Intimate is a feeling of being close and emotional connected. That's just her thought. Well, she's right.
Oh yeah,
she's absolutely right. She's right. So we can't. She says sex is straight to the point. Get it over with.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it sounds funny. I'm looking at it, but it sounds funny, but it's true.
It is. Yeah.
So a lot of people get sex and being intimate mixed up because you don't have to wind and dine anybody or rub somebody's feet to have sex.
All right.
No, man, you coming over, yeah. You know what you're coming over for.
Yeah.
So when you get here, don't be like, well, you gonna give me a back? I mean, it's fine. You can get somebody a back massage, but you know what it's gonna lead to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be like, well, okay, well, I gotta go now. You're like, hold on, bro, no, you can't take the massage back. It's gone. So, yeah. So, Tamisa, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. Just we're adults, but sometimes adults like to play that field like, well, I'm coming over there, but I ain't coming over there for that. You already if you coming over at 2:00 in the morning, come on,
like
man.
you already know
What you coming to pick me up to go to work? You already know what time it is. Just be honest, man.
That's true.
But yeah, intimacy is more of a connection between that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're expressing. I ain't gonna say, well, that's that dang on machine. Yeah. It's like more you expressing yourself to each other. You're expressing each other to each other. Put it that way. So there's nothing wrong with it. I would never say, well, you know what? I don't know all that intimacy crap. No, because men don't think like that. We don't, and a lot of women think that men can't be intimate. Yeah, we can be intimate.
Yeah,
we can, but it's not an everyday thing we do.
All right.
You know, some men can do it every day, all day. I'm not gonna take them out their character and say they punks or simps or nothing like that. That's just them. But all men aren't like that. Just like all women aren't the same. But then again, let's just be honest. They all like the
same type.
Yeah, they all pretty much like the same type of loving and affection, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So can't stress that enough. Please, if y'all watching this show, please do not put words in my mouth or Dre's mouth because we're saying there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. If you got a man that wants to be intimate with you, then by all means, let that man do his thing. If you got a man that don't want to be intimate or show very little signs of being intimate, don't break up with the guy. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. You knew what he was before you got with him. That's simple. True. Even if he played the role, that's no reason to break up with nobody. Boy, you break up, oh, he didn't hug me enough, or he didn't say he loved me enough, or he didn't rub my feet. That's not a reason to break up with somebody, man. It's not a reason to break up. Just like same thing in a woman's world. Well, she didn't do this enough. Well, she didn't make me feel this kind of way. No, there's no reason to do that because sometimes you just got to deal with what you got.
That's true.
Now, I can see if he was a scumbag or she was a scumbag. Well, then by all means, yeah, go your separate way. But that's not a reason to break up with somebody because as I was growing up, I heard a lot of women, well, it was girls, they women now. I heard a lot of women say that. Well, I broke up with him because he couldn't do this. He couldn't do that. He couldn't buy me this. He couldn't buy me that. And all these men you're talking about, these men ain't your husbands.
That's true. And you know what? And now that you say that, you would think...
Hey, Miss Carter.
You would think a lot of them will have broken up because that the person might have treating them bad. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, it's not even because they treat them bad. It's because of the things that they're not doing.
Exactly.
And that's kind of messed up because it's like, when you think about it, relationship is about learning each other in a way. You know what I'm saying? So it does take time to learn somebody, especially when you have to communicate, okay, what it is that you want out of this person and being open to doing that. At the same time, you may not be able to do everything that they're asking for, but being able to put the effort forward to do it, that's something else. But a lot of y'all get out of these relationships and it'd be for the dumbest reasons. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just be like, okay, well, he didn't take me here. He didn't take me there. I wanted a Balenciaga. He didn't buy me that. He bought me something else. And you'd be like, okay, was that any reason to break up with him, though?
That's no reason.
That's stupid. Honestly, because y'all act like certain things like those is what make up a good relationship. Y'all preach so much about having relationships and wanting relationships, but y'all don't take on the certain things that make a relationship healthy. And those things that you're asking for isn't necessarily about making a relationship good or making it healthy, if you know what I'm saying. You putting materialistic things over the bond y'all supposed to be building together, if you get what I'm saying. So to me, that just doesn't make sense. So if y'all really preaching so much about running relationships, know or learn about what makes a relationship work or what makes a relationship healthy and work on those things instead of worried about what this person can't afford or this person not taking me there or he or she ain't doing this. Focus on, okay, what can we do together to compromise within our relationship so we can both get what we want out of it. You may not be able to give each other everything, but we can both compromise on certain things. So, I mean...
Yeah. You're absolutely right because people break up for the stupidest things now, man. People get divorced for the stupidest thing. I mean, I know the topic is about intimacy, but you don't break up with somebody because they're not intimate. You don't do that. If he came through the door with a motorcycle, that means he's tough. Don't expect this man to bring. I'm not saying he won't do it, but if he don't do it on a regular basis, just like you said earlier, he ain't bang. He didn't bang me the Balenciaga bag, or however you pronounce it, or the Michael Kors and stuff like that. Well, he ain't on my level. I have to break up with him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such thing. It's a such thing of karma, man. And you might be the guy you be crazy about, and he break up with you.
He probably bought you all that stuff.
Bought you all that stuff. Like, oh no, she ain't even worth it.
Right.
She had thought of something. Then your feelings is hurt.
Exactly.
So either he's going to be intimate, or he's not going to be intimate. But being intimate doesn't make a healthy relationship. Not being intimate doesn't make a relationship. Life is what you make it. Relationships are what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the hardest people in the world got good relationships.
That's true.
But see, the thing is, we're so caught up in this modern stuff. Well, he got to do this, he got to do that, she got to do this, she got to do that. If he ain't taking me out, I want to be romance. That's not even the case. If you are not connected, how will the relationship last? If you are not connected, I was going to say collected. Connected, how the relationship lasts. Relationships don't last if you're not connected, but that don't mean you can be intimate. Because I know a lot of people that relationships last, and they're not intimate like that.
Yeah, they're not having sex.
They're not. It's not everyday basis. She come home and, oh my God, you got trees and stuff planted and waterfalls, and he waiting with a ribbon with a bow and stuff. Romantic. That's just TV.
You got his Brazilian chest hair.
Right, exactly. His taco meat and stuff and the Fabio wig on.
Yeah.
No, that's just TV, man. What happens when all of that stuff is gone? Do you really like him for what he is, or do you really like her for what she is?
Mm-hmm.
And some people just get it wrong.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to just go into a relationship thinking, well, I can get this or that for somebody, or he treat me like a queen. Everybody's not going to treat you like a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not here to treat you like a queen, because you're not going to treat him like a king. You're not.
That's true.
Just be together. God's will and grace. Y'all may make it. Y'all might not. Life is a game. Life is nothing but rolling the bones. Is a gamble. You got to roll the dice. You might get a good one. You might get a bad one. Now, I'm not saying if you got a bad one, just be there, because that's going to lead to something else. So is it really a loving relationship if you're not connected? Connected? No. You got me wrong. It's okay to be connected. Yeah. It's okay to be connected. I'm not saying don't be connected, because relationships don't work if you're not connected with each other. Yeah. You got to be in tune with each other. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. But all I'm saying is it's okay for men to not show their, I ain't going to say emotional side, their intimacy side all the time.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
They can be intimate from time to time, occasionally, but we're not so used to being intimate to the point where it's an every time thing. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we might just look past it and just say, forget it, I just want to have sex.
Right. Don't hold, oh, well, no, we ain't having sex because you didn't hold me. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Exactly.
But that don't mean I hate you. That don't mean, I'm just in it for the wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Let's just be honest. Most women be in for the wham bam, thank you, ma'am, too.
That's true.
They do. Look, I don't want to, let's just get to the point. Let's just do the business. But no, you have to be connected. You definitely have to be connected in a relationship. That's how it grows. Right. You got to give each other room to grow with each other. So yeah, you definitely, hands down, 100%, you definitely have to be connected with that person. Either it's male or female. You'll have to somewhere down the line. I'm not saying it's going to be connected from day one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So a lot of people say, "Oh, we were connected from the." No, you wasn't.
Nah.
No. Because you don't know that man from Cane and Paint. His father could be Michael Myers. So let's just be honest. No, I mean things take time.
Oh yeah.
Things definitely take time.
And we're not saying that that men or women, when you get in a relationship, you shouldn't change. We're not saying that when you were single, you should be the same way you was when you get into a relationship. Relationship does change people, and both parties should be open to change. We're not saying that you shouldn't. But that's what I'm saying. But we're just saying that you can't expect the other person to be all the way what you want them to be. You got to accept the good and the bad about them and be able to compromise in certain areas. So that's all we're saying. We're not saying that a man shouldn't be intimate at all.
No,
we just saying
say that.
it's it's to the point where it's like I said earlier, it's not a switch for us. So sometimes we might not be thinking about it. So sometimes it's fine to just have sex with a man without being intimate, and then sometimes he should have to be intimate at times just to to please have the way
Exactly
you want
right.
it.
Exactly.
So yeah,
That definitely hands down. So we're not saying don't be connected, and no relationships won't work if you're not connected. It can start off not being connected, true,
oh yeah,
because you're trying to figure out who each other is. But years and years or months and months down the line, if y'all still together and you don't know him from can of paint and he don't care about what you do, it's not going to work.
oh yeah,
It's just not going to work. So yeah, you got the like they say, weed out the bad.
oh yeah,
You got to weed out the bad. So we're not saying men don't be intimate, because that's just not how it goes. If you're a man and you're in a relationship with a woman, sometimes you have to be intimate because that's what she like.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying to just come in like, oh man, forget all this stuff,
Right.
and throw all the stuff off the bed and get on and lay down. No, sometimes you just got to be patient with it, because that's what women like. They're emotional creatures.
Yeah.
No, they like to be held at night. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong there. At least, hey, she got to smell good. No, I'm just joking. I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh,
just
you
come home from
stink.
work.
Right. You stink your. You can take your socks off. Your socks get in the corner and stand up by themselves because they so hard. But no, we just joking. But
Or the panties stink to the wall.
oh wow,
Stick
he
to
said the penny stick to the wall like, and then like. No. So that's gonna do it for this part of the show. But we're not gonna actually there. We're gonna close it out, and we're gonna talk about well, just stick around. Give us 4:42. We'll be back on in exactly 3 minutes. So stick around and be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. This is PTSD signing off, saying stick around. We got another topic coming up in 3 minutes. So that's 3 minutes. So I want to see y'all back here in 3 minutes. So stay tuned.